morning, guys, and welcome to iPunt Smart. Today looks like the Queen's Plate could be a benefit day for Justin Snaith. So let's have a quick look, and we start off in the first. And yeah, I think it's either Royal Flush for Justin Snaith, or it is Pegasus Rock, the first timer for Justin Snaith. That's what I think is going to happen. I think either Royal Flush or Pegasus Rock will win this race. For third, Real Advisor. For fourth, Emperor's Decree. For fifth, Freedom Park. Sixth, Star Captain. And then Genial Anne and Diamond Jack. But if I'm just looking at the ratings here from a details perspective, you see that Royal Flush has got the nice green adjusted times here, 60 and 60, and the 0.97 and the 1.47 is a bit more consistent than Real Advisor's only 0.88 that he ran. So to me, I would think that Royal Flush, given he was also the beaten favourite here on his last run, and he was also backed in on this run, is one of the culprits today, and the other one being Pegasus Rock. Now, Pegasus Rock has Madalana on board and 66.67 win place percentage, and Royal Flush has Boy on board with a 50% win percentage. I think one of those two is the correct one to win the race. It's just a hunch for me that I think Justin Snaith will take the first 3, maybe 4 races. In the second, I think this is purely a race between Orange Bowl, which I take as my first choice, and Sovereign Rose, which I take as my second choice. And I don't think there's too much more to say about this race. I think that 2 and 9 is enough for your bipot. The third place here is a 12 to 1 Bite My Lip. Then Imperial Ballot, 5.99 on the bat figures, is also sort of competitive. But Orange Bowl on his one run showed enough for me to think that he's probably one of the better bets on the card today. If you take his run here on the 9th of the 12th, 61.39 on debut, when he finished only 3.8 lengths behind the winner. And if I look at Sovereign Rose here, 61.25 on the 3rd of November, but it took forever to actually win that race. And just given that Grant van Niekerk gets so many winners from Justin Snaith recently, I think that Grant's going to let this one slip and allow Orange Bowl to win this race, and just tapping second or third even. Bite My Lip, the next best, and fourth Imperial Ballot with Carty. But judging on the trust factor that Snaith has to have a quadruple for 4 winners on the day, I think he's going to use a more trustworthy jockey with better statistics. So Orange Bowl and Sovereign Rose is all I have. Sorry, let me just check the bipot here at the bottom. No, that's wrong. It's 249. Sorry, that's a typo. It's not 248. It's actually 249. So I'll just fix that quickly. I'm actually wrong here. What race am I in here? Ah, no. I'm stupid. Sorry, the bipot only starts in race 2, so what I've done in the bipot is purely 2 and 9. That's it, nothing more. So that is correct then, as I put it, 2 and 9 in my first leg of the bipod. Orange Bowl and Southern Rose. I don't think there's anything else that can win that race. In the third, and yeah, it's Justin Snaith again. Again, the same kind of thing that we've had yesterday. And it's a 1,000-meter Kenilworth juvenile plate. Juvenile meaning I've got reason to say that they quickly improve much quicker than the other, which does to me mean that it's payback time for Grant van Niekerk that didn't run first on Sovereign Rose. So for me, I'm going to go with Danilo Danilovic as my first choice, with Justin Snaith as my second choice, and African Rain as my third choice. So 4, 8, and 2. But I do think that even this Justin Snaith Carty Intrepid, when you've got such a nice stable and so many good horses, you can decide which ones you want to win. For fourth, Jack Tar. For fifth, Cholima. For sixth, Red Soul, the first timer from the Dennis Dreyer stable. And Impressive Queen is the only runner for Piquota, with an interesting booking in Greg Shane that does have a flame next to him. But yeah, I do think that Snaith will win this one as well. That's 3 for Snaith. And then in the fourth, it's only one of two, Casimir and Russet Air. I don't think there's anything more in this race to say. If I look at the 2.64 and the 4.16 and the 6.6 and the 3.1, that's very consistent by Russet Air. And Casimir only on his last 0 year. Casimir is no good thing for the pick 6. Purely, I'm looking at the 1,000-meter Kenilworth where he got the best bat. The moment when you go further on in 1200, 4.85, 1200, 6.83, 1400, 19, 1200, 8. Clearly, when he goes down to 1,000, while he was still improving, 6, 7, and then he goes up to 12, 8, 14, 19. So that to me looks like Casimir has a little bit of a problem to get the distance here, and on 61 kilos on his back, I'm going to say Candace Bass Robinson is definitely in with a shout here as well on Russet Air, given that the 1200 Gravel 6.6 is better than the 6.83 on the best Gravel Casimir form. So the two of them has run against each other on that day, and Casimir was 2.1 lengths behind the winner, and Russet Air was 4 lengths behind the winner. So there's only 1.9 lengths in it, but the part that we need to understand is the 1200 Gravel. A 14 draw is terrible at the Gravel course over 1200 meters. A 12 draw is as terrible, but on that day, Fight Herb took the ride, and you can see that Doormeyer has got 2 lengths and 4 lengths better than Fight Herb on his runs. So I'm going to have to say Casimir and Russet Air has to both go in, and I don't think anything else can win this race. So that's exactly what I've done. I've gone with 1 and 2 in my bipod, in my PA, and in my pick 6. Race 5. And here, it might even be another Justin Snaith with payback to Grant van Niekerk again here, or Golden Ducat, or one of the Brett Crawford runners, Hoodoo Magic or Super Silvano. That's at least how I see it. So 2, 1, 3, and 7 in the bipod, in the pick 6, and in the PA. Then next best is Sash Def, African Night Sky, and Vikram. The 6th race. Now here we have a really interesting greenie. Just purely because Summer Pudding has never lost. And now we have Queen Supreme, the only runner from the Mike the Cox stable, as the greenie. Now that's very interesting. I'm sure this is going to be the banker for everyone today, but I just want to show you why I don't think it's the banker. This is an 1800 at Kenilworth. The only run that Queen Supreme has had at the 1800 at Kenilworth was a winning run when Callan Murray was riding. So a little bit of a concern that Keegan Milo is riding today, but let's put that aside for now. 58.5 on that day. He's 1.5 more. Silvano's Pride carried 59.5 that day. He's only a half more. So that brings Silvano Pride into the reckoning here because he gets a kilo on Queen Supreme, and he was on the day 2.6 lengths behind. So he's not far off. He's thereabouts again on the day. Also purely because you can see that his Kenilworth form has improved. And how I can see that, how I say that, is his bat figure here was a 1634 and an 18. And his most recent bat figure on the 18 Kenilworth was a blue bat exact course and distance, the best in the field by quite some margin, 6.25. And if I look down, there's nothing close to 6.25 anywhere close. The second best is Queen Supreme. So don't leave Silvano's Pride out of it. It's weird for me that Carty's taking the ride on it, because if I just look at this last run of his on the 19th of December, he was supported well as well. That was a really good run. So he's also, to me, has to have a say at 14-1. Then we saw Candace Bass Robinson winning pretty much everything yesterday. And here we have Aldo Doormeyer on Clouds Unfold. Now, we don't know how he goes over the 1800 meters. Judging on what I'm seeing, the bat figures for 0.76 over 12, then 3 over 14, then 6 over 16. It does look like it goes worse. But saying that, that 6.18 is still very much in range with the 6.25 on Silvano's Pride. So to me, that would suggest that Clouds Unfold is also a runner in this race. So that leaves me with Summer Pudding, that only gets in at my fourth choice today as a 7-10 favorite. Now, why I say that leaves me with flabbergasted is because you can see he's won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in a row. So he's always been better than what the handicapper gives him. But look at the adjusted times here. It's not highlighted in green like we see in Clouds Unfold. It's darker green, which means that it's worse adjusted times. On top of that, the adjusted time with the merit rating and the lengths behind and bomb roll combination on the calculation. Now, this is a standard calculation that we give every single horse the same chance. The lower the better. His best figure is 8.97 under 2000, and his 1800 is only a 20. So that's why I am hesitant to say that Summer Pudding is your banker, because the data suggests otherwise. So Queen Supreme, Silvano's Pride, Clouds Unfold, Summer Pudding, all four of those I'm putting into my pick six, but it doesn't even stop there. Because on my fifth choice here, we have Princess Kala, 22-1, clearly good form, 1-3-1-2, clearly some good adjusted time as well, clearly been supported in the market, and has been improving every time. Over the 1600 she did a 27 bat, over the 1400 she did an 18 bat, then over the 1600 again a 12 bat. Now if she goes 200 further and she improves by another 6, she goes into a 6 bat, and a 6 bat is as good as the best that we've seen from Clouds Unfold and Silvano's Pride. So, if Princess Kala likes the extra 200 meters, Princess Kala is a runner. And then there's one more interesting runner for me that I would like to just note, and that would be the Anton Marcus Brett Crawford choice, Sing Out Loud. Now, the reason why I'm saying that is he didn't do all that bad on his previous time on the 1800. But look at his last 1800 in the Pen H. He was backed in from 16-1 into 4.5. Now, clearly, that suggests that the connections knew something with Marcus on board. Marcus has been second, first, third, and fifth on him and this one very bad run. They expected him to go better over the 1800 because this was 12, 12, 12, 14, 16, and he improved from 14 to 16. So he expected him to go to the better from the 1800, and there was a lot of money on him on that day, and he didn't do well. So I think Sing Out Loud at 30 to 1 is another interesting runner for me that I have to include. So what have I done? I've gone 1, 3, 2, 5, 10, and 9 in my pick six. 1, 3, 2, 5, 10, and 9. So I'm expecting that it couldn't be as easy as everyone's suggesting it's going to be. So I might be wrong, and Summer Pudding just runs the shit out of them again. So we'll see. It's definitely a race worthwhile watching because we've got some superstars running there today. So let's move on to the next race. In the 7th, the last of the bipot, yeah, I think again it's just a 2-horse affair between Rainbow Bridge and Bulgarian. But when I looked at it a bit closer, and I said Rainbow Bridge Bulgarian because these bat figures are the best. Then do it again in 3rd. Is good bat figures, come back from quite a long rest, so it might be needing the run. So I was looking further, and then I spotted Sean Terry came and won with his only horse yesterday, and he's here for the weekend, and he's also got only horse today, Cirillo. So Cirillo's 1600 form is 7.68 blue bat, which is exact same course, exact same distance. It's really good. But Bulgarians is better, 4.53, and Rainbow Bridge is better, 0.13. So I've gone Rainbow Bridge, Bulgarian, Cirillo, and then, well, I've only got Rainbow Bridge and Bulgarian in my bipot and PA, but I've gone Rainbow Bridge, Bulgarian, Cirillo, and a lot of interesting runner for me, Hurricane Harry. Now, I don't know why Justin Snaith decides to put a Hurricane Harry in the field, so I looked at it a little bit further. 1600 Kenilworth form was extremely good. A win here on the 1600 Kenilworth, a second under, say, 3 wins in a row by a second, and his last run was a terrible run. So if he goes back to these earlier runs, he's a bit of a wild in the packet. And he was supported from debut 2 to 1, 3.75, 1.3 into 0.85, 2.3 into 1.9. So he is a horse that could just spring up and make a surprise. And just imagine if Robert Carty and Justin Snaith wins this race on Hurricane Harry and wins this race on Silvano's Pride. That's a 14 to 1 and a 33 to 1. All of a sudden, the pick six is going to be paying bombs, and there's too much of an unknown for me on those 2 races, so I'm going to stick with keeping them in. In the 8th race, I have gone 97521. Now, here Irish Warning is a really interesting runner for me. And I say that because if I'm looking at his figures, and I'm just going to quickly show you what I mean, I'm comparing Irish Morning and Real Gone Kid on the 9th of the 12th, the same day, 9th of the 12th. Irish Morning was first, 1200 Kenilworth. King in the Miller was riding, and 60.61 on the adjusted time, 95.62 on the speed rating, 16.62 on the exact distance medium speed. The same day, Real Gone Kid, the favorite, was on 55 kilos, and he did a 61.3. So a 61.6 and a 61.3, very much the same thing. He was carrying 55.5. He's now carrying 56. Difference being Irish Morning was only on his 2nd run, was carrying 60 and now goes 4.5 off into a 55.5. And all of a sudden, over the 1200 meters, the bat figure changes to a 4.89 for Irish Morning because of all that weight that he's losing. And that makes him by far the best bat, exact course and exact distance in the race. The other one that I have to also have respect on is Hale Columbia. His last 1200 form was not good, but his first one at Scottsville did produce a 4.21 bat figure and an impressive 58.27 adjusted time figure. So, and for that reason, I have gone 9, 7, and 5 as my main play, and then I've gone with Tarantino and Joseph Barry as the backup. Tarantino is a bit up and down, but his 3-2-1-2-2-3 suggests that he likes to be involved, and he does get pacifiers today. And very, very, very important to note, he also gets Grant van Niekerk today. And the other one, Joseph Barry, Vaughan Marshall, was impressive for me yesterday on horses that wasn't supposed to run well. He did run well. So for that reason, and on this 1200 Kenilworth second here, I think Joseph Barry is my last one thrown into the pick six. So 9, 7, 5, 2, and 1. And then the last race of the pick six. And yeah, Warrior is a greedy. So personally, I'm not all that convinced. I think this is quite open, and I'm saying that because look at these bats: 2.7, 4.5, 5.6, 4.2, 5.6, 3.87, 8.7, 3.4, which suggests to me that all of these horses has some sort of a chance to actually be performing. My most that I like is 2, 4, 3, and 10, which is Warrior, Dirty Martini, Mashlabini, and Wolfman. But on the same note that I just said, Vaughan Marshall did better than expected yesterday with I've added Brandy and Coke. I've added Green Serenity with Vaughan Marshall yet again, and this impressive 3.87, which is the second best bat 42. I've also added Green Light Flash, although Duomo and Candice Bass, they were having a brilliant day yesterday. And I've also added Bright Key with Glenn Kotson and Sakai, and I've added King of the Moment with Glenn Kotson and Larina, and I've added Atkinson Grimshaw, which is the only one I really think has got a very unrealistic chance of winning, but why not just put that extra one in there as well. So I've gone the field in the last leg of the pick six. So if we get through the first 5 legs, we've got the field. Just note that I have added 1, 3, 2, 5, 10, and 9 there. So I'll just quickly change that that I've fixed that mistake. Okay, so the pick six is added that 9. Just gonna remove him there. Go to the pick six and put the pick six back in again. Note while I'm doing this that you guys can create your own notes as well on any horse, on any trainer, on any jockey. Simply create and make your notes. If you've seen something that is worthwhile seeing, you can just simply make a note of the jockey, of the trainer, or of the horse, and the next time that horse pops up, you will be notified by, like I've done here on Queen Supreme and Summer Pudding. So clearly those are 2 on my watch lists that's running today. So that's the jackpot 1 updated and the pick 6 updated, and I'm just gonna take that jackpot 1 out of it. So let's just put it in order again: jackpot 1 and jackpot 2. So there we go: pick 6, jackpot, and jackpot. So pick 6 races 4 to 9, jackpot 1 races 5 to 8, jackpot 2 races 7, 8, 9, and 10, 7 to 10. So that's the 9th race done. And now we get to the last of the day. And here, similar chances for me on Kampala, Campari, and Azores. And then Cat Daddy. Bit of a question mark on Cat Daddy with the distance in red, and it's not much difference on the bat figures here either. And then Retro Effect. Jeff Woodruff's only runner for the day with Greg Shane. Booked some intent showing there. Wrench and Noach, 16 to 1. Silver DeLange. All of them, I think, has got some sort of a chance. So I do think that the last two races today is quite tricky. So in my jackpot 2, I've taken fields in the last two races, and in my picks, in my pick 6 last leg, which is race 9, I've also taken field. So you'll see jackpot 2 has got field and field with 1, 3, 7, 4, 9, 7, 5, 2, 1 in the front. I'm expecting a little bit more difficult than what it seems. Okay, guys, that's it for me. Have a great day.